Hello everyone and welcome to my channel where we dive into all things related to living in Calgary. I'm going to touch on the ultimate debate of which city is better, Calgary or Edmonton. I'm just joking. The answer to which city is better is actually completely going to depend on your preferences and what you're looking for in terms of lifestyle. But to start off, let's examine Alberta as a whole. Alberta is a fantastic place for immigrants as it offers a ton of opportunities. Another perk is that Alberta has no provincial sales tax. It only has a 5% goods and services tax. Now, this is a huge deal, especially if you're coming from a place like Vancouver and you're used to paying 7% provincial sales tax. In the long run, this can end up saving you a lot of money on all sorts of goods. Edmonton and Calgary are approximately 295 kilometers apart, or a 3-hour drive. My name's Nada. I'm a local realtor here in Calgary, so I can personally vouch for Calgary's charm. But I have traveled both cities extensively and have a ton of friends and family who reside in Edmonton, so we're going to take this video in with no bias and we're just going to look at the facts. Whether you're deciding between moving from one city to another or you're looking at Alberta as a whole and trying to decide which city is better for you, this video will hopefully make that decision more clear. To make this decision easier, I've broken it up into 6 categories that we're going to be going over for each province. Our first category is population and area, then we're going to take a look at economy and job opportunities, then recreation and entertainment, cost of living and housing, weather and climate, and finally transit and commuting. So without further ado, let's get into it. On to our first category, population and area. To start off, both cities have a relatively young population. The average age in Edmonton is approximately 38 and a half, whereas in Calgary, it's 38. In terms of population size, Calgary is slightly bigger than Edmonton with an average population of approximately 1.6 million, whereas in Edmonton, it's approximately 1.5 million, and this is despite the fact that Edmonton is the capital city. It's also notable that the crime rate in Edmonton is slightly higher than the crime rate in Calgary. Calgary is also in close proximity to the Rocky Mountains, which definitely enhances its appeal. Calgary also has the Bow River, which flows through it, whereas Edmonton has the North Saskatchewan River. Interestingly enough, the topography is actually quite different between the two cities. Edmonton is predominantly flat, whereas Calgary features more hills. The other thing to note is that Edmonton does actually have more parks and more trees than Calgary. Now on to the second category, economy and job opportunities. So Calgary was actually founded approximately 60 years after Edmonton, making Edmonton the older city. Despite this, Calgary's economy is more diversified, and since the 1980s, more economic opportunities have been created in Calgary than in Edmonton. Edmonton also has more left-leaning political views in comparison to Calgary. Edmonton features job opportunities in agriculture, oil and gas, and technology. Calgary offers these sectors, but also includes more opportunities in aerospace, financial services, and tourism. A significant number of Edmontonians work in government-based jobs or blue-collar jobs, whereas in Calgary you can find more white-collar jobs due to the sheer number of oil and gas firms that are located within it. Also means that job conditions in Calgary can be less stable and that job security is lower due to its dependency on oil and gas. So in general, to sum it up, I'd say that Edmonton offers more government-based and industrial jobs, whereas Calgary has more office-based opportunities. Now moving on to recreation and entertainment. Calgary and Edmonton both have a lot of unique things to offer in terms of things to do. Calgary proudly hosts the Calgary Stampede, which is the second largest rodeo event in the world, and it attracts many tourists each year. Stampede features rodeos, carnival games, amusement rides, and a wide variety of foods to try. Edmonton is home to the renowned West Edmonton Mall, which is the largest mall in Canada, and if you haven't been there, I highly suggest going. West Edmonton Mall features an amusement park, water park, a golf course, a skating rink, and so much more. It's kind of crazy. Edmonton is also known as Canada's festival city and hosts many vibrant festivals each year, including the Edmonton Folk Festival, Edmonton Heritage Festival, and the International Street Performers Festival. In terms of dining, Calgary does feature features some of Canada's top restaurants and offers really unique exclusive dining experiences. Calgary is also a gateway to outdoor adventure, with Banff and Sunshine Village being only 2 hours away. There's also Jasper and Waterton National Park nearby. For those seeking a vibrant nightlife, Calgary does have a slight edge with its array of clubs, trendy bars, and restaurants. Edmonton, on the other hand, offers more intimate spots which feature tons of local musicians, bands, and I'd say that the music scene in Edmonton is better overall than in Calgary. Popular attractions in Calgary include the iconic Calgary Tower, the Calgary Zoo, and I'd say that Princess Island Park is also very noteworthy. On to our fourth category, we have weather and climate. Edmonton is located further north than Calgary, meaning that it does get slightly colder winters. Calgary's winters are also fairly cold, but they are more manageable in comparison to Edmonton due to the influence of Chinooks. Chinooks are warm winds that can bring relief during cold spells. Edmonton does face more extreme seasons than in Calgary, with summers getting really hot and winters getting really cold, whereas Calgary is a little bit less extreme. Both cities have an abundance of sunshine, with Calgary getting slightly more sunny days than Edmonton. Another thing that's really interesting is that both cities are susceptible to thunderstorms and hail during certain parts of the year. Also offer longer daylight hours in the summer and shorter days in the winter. The Northern Lights, or Aurora Borealis, can also be seen from both cities and is a really unique experience. For our fifth category, we have cost of living and housing. Cost of living between Calgary and Edmonton is nearly identical when you're looking at things like transit, food, and other goods. Where we see the biggest difference is in terms of housing prices between the two. As of January 2023, the average home price in Calgary is around $490,000, whereas in Edmonton, it's just under $370,000. So this is where we see a big difference. Calgary also has a higher median household income. And last but not least, onto our sixth category, we have transit and commuting. In terms of public transit, both cities are relatively similar, but there are a few differences, so this is completely going to depend on your own preferences and what you're looking for. It is important to note here though, however, that in comparison to other large Canadian cities, Calgary and Edmonton do both still have quite a bit of ways to go. Calgary features the C train or Calgary train, and Edmonton features the LRT or light rail transit. In my opinion, I would deem the LRT to be slightly better than the C train, but once again, this totally depends on what you're comparing and what's important to you. The carts on the C train have almost all been updated, and the C train is completely free to use around downtown. So if you're looking to explore Calgary's core, or you work and live downtown, this can be something that's really convenient for you. Something really big that I think the LRT does have to offer over the C train is the fact that its boarding platforms are actually located in between tracks. What this means is if you need to get off the train and go in another direction, you don't have to walk outside. Now, this may not sound like a big deal, but in Alberta, when the weather is really extreme and it does get really cold, this is going to make a huge difference for you. Another fantastic feature about both cities is that they're extremely bike friendly and offer an awesome network of bike lanes. Calgary is typically considered the better hub for international air travel, and Edmonton is considered the better hub for train travel. That's the end of this video. Hopefully this gave you some insight and helped to make the decision just a little bit easier. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Calgary related content, and feel free to follow me on social media or reach out to me if you have any other questions. I'll have that all linked down just below.